gave me a little bit of chills. Great to hear all the good news from Michael Moore.
And the nice thing about it was,
structure. 1%. Get to buy the politics. Come over to your house later today, assuming, I don't know, if you have...
It's hard to beat it.
We got
He's a step in for 1,000 other people, man.
That's right.
yeah. Well, that's
what he
for
said.
me, it's so hard to be down here a lot too, because it's like I see people that are just co-opted or hiding, you know, instead of being the true part of it, they're like, oh, I can come down here and party away from the cops since they're not, you know.
We got a lot of
bodies, man. They're still there.
yeah, and we got I mean, there's all different kinds of people down here.
Oh yeah,
That's part of the broad base of the movement, part of the true democracy of it. But you know, at the same time, we got a lot of really dedicated people
and
working as hard as they can, getting off of work, coming straight down here so that they can help support this movement.
Right.
Taking out work early.
Things going either on a day-to-day basis or planning actions like the zombie march we had today. It was a lot of fun.
I like watching people.
And
stole the futures of so many of our citizens. And not only were they not arrested for it, they were rewarded. Can you imagine a thief taking your car or taking something of yours and then they say, oh, we'll bring it back with interest. And then you actually reward them for this? It's the most psychotic, sociopathic thing I've seen in my lifetime. So, what's great about this is that this 1% that buys our political system, listen, let me just say this too, that the 1%, they're Americans too. They get to vote. We don't want to take their voting rights away, right?
Not all Americans.
And they can run for office even.
Yep.
Right? But here's the deal. Here's the deal. In a democracy, if you're in the 1%, that means you get 1% of the votes. That's it. That's it. And you see, they know that, and that's why they're frightened of this movement. They're frightened because they see this thing taking off like wildfire. It's already so huge, and it's not even organized. The media wants to know who organized this. Who organized this demonstration? Who organized all this?
No leaders.
I'll tell you who organized it. Bank of America organized it. Chase Bank organized it. Citibank organized it. ExxonMobil organized it. BP organized it. That's who organized it. Thank you. Thank you, Bank of America, for organizing us. By destroying the lives of so many people. By ensuring that we have a country with 50 million people with no health insurance. By ruining and decimating our educational system so that we now have 40 million functional illiterate adults in this country. 40 million who cannot read and write above a 4th grade level. That's the country that they've helped to create. Because, of course, when it comes to education, what more do they need? As long as they graduate people who can operate the cash register at McDonald's or greet you when you come into Walmart. So, you okay? All right. Very good. He's just a working stiff. Like
He's 99%.
yeah, absolutely. No. And you know, he's trying to not smile, but he's really enjoying this. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I thought you had fallen to the ground, and I thought this is not when the media.
Robin Hood.
So, right. I think because they've helped to organize this by foreclosing on so many. I just read this piece by William Greider this morning that of the 55 million home mortgages that are out there, 1 in 5 are currently underwater or facing foreclosure. That's unbelievable. What is that's like of that number? That's over 10 million. The foreclosure crisis, as they call it, is, you know, they know the other shoe is going to drop here. They know because they've been holding the shoe. And that's why they're holding on to so much money. You know, they've taken $2 trillion out of circulation that banks and corporations are sitting on in their bank accounts. They never did that before. Before they would invest the money to make more money, and they would invest it by, say, building a factory and buy things, and then that's generally how it ran for some period of time. But now they've been trying to figure out for the last 20 or 30 years, how can we make money but not pay people? Or pay them less? Or not pay for their health insurance? Or whatever. How can we have that woman over there on the assembly line working the jobs of 2 or 3 people instead of just one person? That's the game that they figured out ever since Reagan, thank you California, was elected president. I'm sorry. I mean, you know, it's such a wonderful state, and then it gave us Nixon and Reagan too. So go figure.
We're sorry.
Okay, someone has apologized on your behalf. We the rest of America accept the apology.
Now you got Jerry Brown too.
Has Jerry Brown come out yet? Wow.
The mayor hasn't come out yet.
The mayor of San Francisco been here?
It's good. Keep
Yeah.
her in her office.
Robert Reich.
Who's come here?
Robert Reich.
Naomi's been here?
Robert Reich.
But, you know, well, listen, this is the beauty of this movement. It really doesn't need the Jerry Browns or the Naomi Kleins or really the Michael Moores. In fact, I've spent the last 20 years making movies about corporate America and Wall Street. I've occupied it before it was occupied. I was arrested there. I was arrested there with Rage Against the Machine about 10 years ago. And I'll tell you, this is a hell of a lot better than just me and 4 guys in a rock band trying to get arrested when it's happening all over the country. It's so huge, and the police forces don't know what to do about it because the people outnumber their force, their violent force. Can't stop. I was over in Oakland yesterday. The police have backed down. The police are nowhere to be found. The people won. The people stood up. You see, what they were hoping for after Wednesday night was that no one would come back Thursday night. That's what they were counting on. But everybody came back, plus some. And they came back in larger numbers on Friday. And they're back there again today. This isn't going away. This isn't going away. Well, that's a lot of the media also, they want to know what's next. What are we going to do? What candidates are we going to get behind?
Revolution!
Yeah. Let me explain the derisive laughter that you just heard. We have all spent a large portion of our lives getting behind candidates, getting behind bills in Congress, voting. And I'm not saying that we're not gonna stop voting, but we are no longer going to depend on the old model of getting something done. That hasn't worked. And I mean, if we can actually elect Barack Obama to the presidency, something like that would never happen in my lifetime. Even with that, today 13 American soldiers killed in Afghanistan. All right, the war is still going on. What is that war? Why is that oh, they've already sent us a note saying they're going to filibuster. Okay, well, we better not do anything now. You know, I mean, that is not the mandate he was given. He was elected by a 10 million vote margin. That's 3 times what Bush beat Kerry with, even if you don't count Ohio. This movement is not about getting behind a candidate or a bill right now. Right now, our main job, remember, this is only 6 weeks old today. All right? 6 weeks. Just 6 weeks old, this movement already has, according to the National Journal, the support of 59% of the American people. If you're my age or older, you remember other movements, the feminist movement, the civil rights movement, the anti-Vietnam War movement, the hippie movement, and anything else that emanated from San Francisco. But did we have 59% support of the American people in the 6th week of the movement? No! This is years it took. Years! You know, just with gay rights, last month was the very first national poll. Very first time the majority of Americans, 54%, said they believe that gay marriage should be the law of the land. The majority of Americans. But how long did that take?
Too long.
Too long. This movement in 6 weeks, 59% say they agree with the aims and goals of this movement. And yet the media keeps asking the question, what are your aims? What are your goals? I think it's quite clear by the name, Occupy Wall Street. Period. And if you need a definition of that, it means we, the people, want to occupy the economy that is ours. This is democracy. It's as simple as that. We're demanding democracy. This is our democracy movement.
Either the option of not turning over.
What up, guys? Back up, I think.
Maybe it was Whole Foods.
We had someone doing it, and they were going to be live streaming while I was at a communications meeting, and I guess the laptop shut off and they went offline. So, let me see.
It is Whole Foods.
It's
okay, I'm
half
sorry.
an hour
My
till
apologies,
General
new season.
Assembly,
Here,
so we're going to be trying to do some stuff.
We're throwing away this false propaganda. This is sorry, my apologies, new seasons. I do apologize.
We're back up.
I'll go by
so half an hour till General Assembly.
I
I'm just going to be doing a bunch of organizational stuff, and we will be live streaming the GA tonight. Yeah.
We get pulled over. Go to jail for 3 felonies. Aggravated assault. Sat there 2 months, and then so really, yeah. I mean.